Hey there. Thank you for tuning in to the Voters of Tomorrow, Texas National Voter Registration Day broadcast. We are so glad that participating in our democracy is important to you. And that's why we're here to help you learn more about voter registration, civic engagement, and getting to the polls. But first, a little bit about us from our executive board.
Voters of Tomorrow, Texas is a part of the national organization Voters of Tomorrow. Our purpose is to mobilize young people across the great state of Texas to be active participants in civic life and democracy, because we know that Texans deserve to be represented fairly within our government.
Your vote and your voice are so important. Despite what anyone may tell you, you have a say in how things are run in your community, state, and country. And we're here to help you exercise that right, not just by showing up at the ballot box, but by making sure that young people have the tools and the information that they need to make informed choices about the issues that they're passionate about.
And look, we know it can be discouraging sometimes to look at the news and see everything that's going on in the world, but youth are really the future, and we're going to be the ones to fix those problems we see. But in order to do that, we have to vote and make sure that the people around us, our friends, family, and peers are voting too.
So, how are we going to help you get to the polls? Well, the first thing we want you to do is make sure you're informed. Our social media can help you learn about important issues in Texas, registering to vote, casting your ballot, and much more. Go check us out at Votetexas on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Next, we want to ensure you can find a community of people on your campus that will empower you to take action. We are rolling out the development of VOT Texas chapters in high schools and colleges across the state, and we need you to be a part of it. Go to bit.ly/joinvotTX and join our community for change.
Finally, we are working on statewide programs and collaborating across Texas to engage youth and get them excited about civic engagement. So stay tuned for some exciting opportunities in the coming months. My name is Charles Azuna. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the Vice President of Voters of Tomorrow, Texas.
My name is Grace Daner. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Director of Communications for Voters of Tomorrow, Texas.
My name is Dadrian Whittington. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the Director of Finance for Voters of Tomorrow, Texas.
My name is Chloe Holloman. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Social Media Manager for Voters of Tomorrow, Texas.
My name is Katie Jenkins. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Director of Political Affairs for Voters of Tomorrow, Texas.
And my name is Maya Mackey. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the President of Voters of Tomorrow, Texas. We are your executive board, and we are so happy that you have joined the movement. Let's build a better Texas, y'all. What is civic engagement? Simply put, civic engagement is working to improve the lives of our community, whether locally, statewide, or nationally. Staying active in your community is one of the best ways that we can feel connected and fulfilled and make a direct impact on this world. There are lots of ways to be civically engaged, but by far the most important is voting. We are given the opportunity to literally choose our future, and that's incredible. We want to help you take that opportunity. So keep watching to learn more about how to vote and the importance of getting involved. Voting is important, but it can also be confusing if you don't know where to look. It's more important than ever that you vote frequently and have a plan in place to get to the polls, not just for big elections with a lot of media attention, but also for elections at the local and state level that make a crucial impact in your life. The Texas government is trying to make it even harder for people, especially people of color, young people, and people with disabilities, to vote, which is why we need each and every person to show up and make their voices heard by voting. Luckily, we're going to make it easy for you to do that. Here's how to vote in just 4 simple steps. Step 1, make sure you're registered to vote. In Texas, you can register if you are 17 years and 10 months old, although you must be 18 to vote. Texas does not have online voter registration, so you have to fill out a paper application or register in person at your county's voter registrar office. Visit Votetexas.gov/register to request a voter registration application that you can fill out and send in. Make sure that you are a resident of the county in which you are applying for registration. You may also be able to find applications at local libraries, your school, and some government offices. Make sure to send in your application by the deadline to register to vote. Within 30 days after you apply, you should get a voter registration certificate mailed to you. Make sure that all the information on it is correct, and if not, please make corrections and return it to the voter registrar immediately. A list of county voter registration officials can be found at this QR code. Notify them in writing if you lose your certificate and need a new one. Step 2. Make sure you know your precinct and polling location. Your precinct number, or the area in your county where you will vote, is printed on your voter registration certificate. Sometimes polling locations change though, so you should always check with your county clerk or elections administrator to make sure you're going to the right place. Maybe you're thinking that this is a lot of information. Luckily, there's an easy way to check your polling location. The Am I Registered website lets Texans check their voter registration status, poll location, early voting locations, registration information, and key election dates all in one convenient place. Scan this QR code or go to bit.ly/votersintexas to access this website and check it during election season. Step 3. Make a plan to vote well in advance of the election date. Decide when you will vote, know where to vote, how to get there, what ID and backup ID you will bring, and who you will take with you. Plan to be in line for a while. You might want to take snacks, water, and a book with you, and a fan if you're going to be in the Texas heat. You have to bring a photo ID to vote. There are 7 kinds of ID that you can bring with you. They are a Texas driver license, a Texas election ID certificate, a Texas personal ID card, a Texas handgun license, a U.S. citizenship certificate with photo, a U.S. military card with photo, or a U.S. passport. For voters aged 18 to 69, your photo ID can be expired up to 4 years. If you are 70 or older, your ID can be expired any amount of time if it's otherwise valid. If you don't have one of these forms of ID and can't reasonably obtain one, you can execute a reasonable impediment declaration after providing one of the following: a copy or original of a government document that shows your name and address, including the voter registration certificate, a copy of or original current utility bill, a copy of or original bank statement, a copy of or original government check, a copy of or original paycheck, or a copy of or original of A, a certified domestic birth certificate, or B, a document confirming birth admissible in a court of law which establishes the voter's identity, which may include a foreign birth document. We recommend bringing 2 forms of ID. Keep them safe and in separate places, and make sure the name on your ID matches the name with which you are registered to vote. Make sure you know what and who you're going to be voting for. isidewith.com, Ballotpedia, and so many other resources can offer you information on candidates and propositions that you get a voice on. Finally, step 4, go vote. Bring a few friends with you and make it fun. And after you've voted, post a photo of your shoes with your I voted sticker with hashtag boots to the ballot box and tag us. That's it. 4 steps to vote. Easy and fun. Here are some resources if you still have questions. Votetexas.gov and howto.vote. Scan the QR codes to access these resources.
So why am I voting? I'm voting because my voice matters, and yours does too. I want my voice to be heard through my vote by voting for people whose goals for Texas or America or even Austin just resemble mine.
Although I am underage and not eligible to vote in this upcoming election, I am still going to be registering to vote as soon as possible, not just because I'm part of this wonderful organization, but because I believe that voting is the most important civil liberty that we as Americans have. It baffles me every year how many people don't exercise their right to vote. Voting is the best way to ensure that those who represent your beliefs and your values end up in positions of power. You are able to directly affect the course of American politics, what is discussed in legislature, and who is running your community, state, or country. That is why, no matter the election year, once I am eligible to vote, I will be voting.
So why I'm voting this November? I just recently turned 18 this past June, so this is my first time actually voting in an election, and not this, I'm going to be voting in the Austin elections. So it's going to be really exciting. I think just having the power and having an actual say in your community and knowing that a vote is the great equalizer. Okay, my vote is not worth more than Jeffrey Bezos. It's all the same. So voting really is the great equalizer. It gives everyone a chance to have their voices heard. And it's really important for everyone to go out and vote for the polls. Because again, your vote matters, it counts, and I believe my vote matters. So that's why I'm going out to the polls this November to vote.
I'm voting because I care about the future. I care about what tomorrow's children will have to grow up living in. And I care about the people today because I think that a person's vote matters and it can affect so many people's lives. So when we have a society that devalues voting, we have a society that devalues our future. So I think that we need to invest in our future by voting.
I'm voting because I believe that the people of Texas deserve to be represented in the decisions that our government makes.
I'm voting on behalf of all those who fought for the right to me to have this great privilege and duty to vote.
Hey guys, Maya and I are here to talk to you because we're both volunteer deputy registrars or VDRs, and we think that y'all should become VDRs too.
That's right. Now, a VDR is someone who is authorized to help other people register to vote, which means that you can give out voter registration forms and you also turn them in. It's a super fun way of meeting people and making sure that our democracy thrives. Plus, you can volunteer to help out at voter registration drives.
VDRs are certified by county, which means that if you are a VDR for Harris County, for example, you can register people to vote in Harris County. The good thing is that you are not limited to being a VDR in just one county. A lot of counties offer reciprocal certification, which means that you'll be certified as a VDR if you provided evidence that you're certified in another county.
Each county does their trainings on a little bit of a different schedule, but it is still super easy to become a VDR. Simply go to the website of the office that handles voter registration in your county, or look up how to become a VDR in whatever county you're in. Most of the time, you'll go in for about an hour training and then swear an oath. And with COVID-19, some offices have even moved their trainings online, so the only time that you have to go into a building is to sign some paperwork.
If you are 18 or older, you should become a VDR. The only thing more amazing than voting is helping register your friends and community members to vote as well.
Wait a second. What if you're not 18? Surely there must be some way of supporting our democracy for people who aren't of voting age.
Hey y'all, maybe you're not old enough to vote or to become a VDR, but you still want to make a difference. I'm not old enough to register to vote either, so I want to talk to you about some of the other ways you can get involved, even if you're not old enough. Did you know that you can become an elections worker at 16 years old? As a student elections clerk, you can help run a polling place and assist with voters while either getting paid or getting valuable community service hours. Plus, you get a day off from school. The best part is that once you turn 18, you can work as a regular elections clerk or as an elections judge. You just have to contact your local election office to sign up. Scan this QR code to learn more about becoming a student elections clerk, and this QR code to learn more about being an elections worker.
Thanks for celebrating National Voter Registration Day with us. We hope that you are ready and excited to go out and make change in your community and your state. But you don't have to stop there. There are so many ways that you can get involved with our democracy. In fact, increasing your civic engagement is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 3 E's, that is. Engaged, excited, and empowered.
Engaged. It is important that young voters feel engaged when making decisions to go to the polls. Being aware of important elections, the positions of different candidates, and how to vote ensures that you vote with confidence.
Be aware of the importance of voting and the impact that you have on issues that you're passionate about, simply by casting your ballot. Voting is the most fundamental and necessary action that we can take in order to create the society that we want to live in. So you're engaged. Now what?
Now you get excited. Voting can and should be an exciting activity. It's fun to go to the polls, go vote with your friends, make it a fun time. You have the chance to literally change the course of the future, and that is an awesome opportunity that comes around once a year. So don't waste it by not voting.
Plus, you won't want to miss out on your chance to show off your I voted sticker at VOT Texas elections parties, would you? We wouldn't. Follow our social media to find out more when election season rolls around.
Finally, we want you to feel empowered. Youth should be empowered to be advocates in all areas of political and civic society, and we want to give you the tools to do so. Whether you want to work in politics or don't want anything to do with politics at all, VOT Texas has something for you because you are a world changer.
So what are you waiting for? Go to bit.ly/joinVOTTexas and follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at @VOTTexas. Start your empowerment journey today. Let's get our boots to the ballot box and let's change Texas for the better. Thank you for joining us in this fight for our democracy.